hoopla and access and all this stuff?
It's okay. Gives the guys a little pep in their step. Get out there and practice a little bit, so it was okay. I don't know about that, but they were enjoyable to be around today, considering it was a loss last night.
Why did you guys lose?
Well, tell you what, I kind of come out of that thinking give Denver a lot of credit. First of all, they played great, and it took a lot to beat us, right? I think it took a lot to beat us last night. We didn't give our best focused effort in the first half. Second half, I thought we played our guts out. Shot the ball really poorly. I thought we took pretty good shots, but we could have executed a little bit better to get better shots. Maybe not great, but really good. From pretty good to really good. And for some reason, the ball didn't bounce our way very well, and the breaks of the game didn't go our way.
A lot of those offensive rebounds they got were long rebounds off long shots. You've spoken about that earlier this season. What's sort of is there a focus or is there a key to getting those long rebounds, or does it just come down to bounces and position?
No, I mean, you can't sit here and say too many times the ball didn't bounce our way. I'm not sure I'm saying the ball actually bouncing the wrong way is what I mean when I say that. But yeah, no, we got to practice it. We got to practice. Again, I think it's more of a foot race. It's an anticipation of trying to guess what it's coming off long, and when it does, is throwing it in gear to run it down. It doesn't become blocking out anymore. It becomes who's got the nose for the ball, and we got to improve that in our team a little bit, and we will. We can.
Well,
we can.
Talent with some guys, right? Like some guys just have that.
Yeah, 100%. I think definitely it's guys that can kind of anticipate next plays are those guys that can anticipate where, they see the flight of the ball and they see it going long and they know when it hits there, it's going to go there, and they're racing to that point well ahead, or not well ahead, but even like a half a step sooner than anybody else. That's how come they come down with them.
In the four finals between Cleveland and Golden State, Cleveland was almost always getting more offensive rebounds than Golden State, and it was just an advantage they had, and we know how they turned out. So at what point is it a problem versus just something to deal with and get better at?
Well, it's a problem now, right? It's a problem now. I think at halftime we were talking about, I don't know what it was exactly, but I think I can remember 8 points at least in the first half. We gave up, I think, 2 threes and 1 putback on second chance opportunities, right? And again, I keep saying, man, we're making teams miss enough. Why do we want to when we've done the job once and could have the ball, why do we want to do it twice, right? It's twice as much work.
Changed in a way, like does the old stuff, like put a body on the guy, inside position, all those sort of, basketball camp stuff? No,
there's still a lot of fundamental stuff to it, right? I think there's still a lot of in the trenches rebounding that's happened. I think there is a change for the long extra accounting for all the long 3 balls. Yeah.
A big difference it's a small sample size, but in the losses, Kyle's numbers, I think he's like 10% from 3. Have you seen any patterns? I know a lot of that is playing good teams. Is there anything you can point out why there's been such a huge difference in his shooting, especially in the wins?
I haven't really looked at that yet. I'll take a look at it now that you've pointed it out. I don't really have it. I just think it kind of he's had some really good games against really good teams too. So it's maybe just the way it falls here and there.
Last night he shot 1 shot. That was the one to try and tie it at the end. Is there something that you did?
Yeah, we're working on incorporating him. That was a little bit that kind of happens sometimes, and we don't really want it to happen. So we're trying to incorporate keeping him aggressive, getting not 1 or 2 play calls, but maybe a half a dozen play calls for him that everybody knows he's kind of coming off looking for his first and foremost, again, just to keep him involved. I mean, they were putting 2 on the ball all the time when he had it, so it was just one of those nights where he's got to make the next read and the play, and we did a decent job of that last night. We could have it would have looked like we were doing a great job if we would have made 5 of those kick-out threes that were wide open. You know, went from our guard to our big man to a wide-open guy in the 3, and if those couple of those go in, it looks like, oh, man, they're passing and carving them to pieces, and that's just the way it is. We didn't make them, so now we're talking about being inefficient, right?
Pop was talking about that the other day. Is that
Who?
Pop was talking about that the other day, about how just the three-point, like, you look so much better when the three's going down. It's such a factor that it outstrips kind of almost everything else you do.
Well, I think the biggest thing, and this is what I tried to talk to our guys at halftime about is it energizes your players and your team and your crowd and your bench and your media guys when the shots are going in. Right? I mean, everybody feels better, right? And I think for us, we got to watch that when we go through a dry patch that we don't let it de-energize our defense. And I thought we were living in those missed threes not going in a little too much last night. And it's hard, man. It's hard to do. And I think that we shrugged it off pretty good at the half. And, you know, we realized we weren't shooting very well. And because of that, we were not defending very well. And we came out in the second half and started defending pretty well. We're about as big as they come, right? Obviously, the size, the skill. And when he's playing with some focus that he's playing with now, he's really tough. I mean, he wants it in tough situations. He wants it down the stretch. He scores in. He scores out. You know, they run into game plays for him. He's big time when he's focused the way he is now.
What did that test of the offense against? Now they have Butler as well to Embiid and what they can do defensively.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit like us in the fact that they're building their defense still. And I think obviously Butler's new, so they'll still have a little more foundation to lay. But obviously Jimmy Butler's one of the best wing defenders in the league, and some of that will rub off, I'm sure, on some of the other guys. And I know that's a big focus, and I know they're playing good defense right now. So it's good. I think it's 2 really similar teams tomorrow in similar situations, both kind of playing good, winning a lot of games, high aspirations, good players.
Do you think they're better? Like, in what way because they're better?
I think, yes, they're definitely better. And I think he gives them just a little bit higher level of swag, right? They strut around a little bit more like they expect to beat you. And if they have any problems, they throw him the ball and he makes the basket for them, right? Or they have a matchup they can't guard, he goes and guards them for them. And that's what great players do. We got one of those guys, right? We got one of those guys, and I think it helps our just make up and feel.
Danny was talking about how.
Got several of those guys actually.
Danny was talking about how you guys can't get too focused on the fact that even with the loss the other night, you've got the best record in the NBA, and the wins have come because of how you're still building so much at this stage. Is that something you're kind of cognizant of every day? Is that it's like shots going in, right? Like you can get wins and not play that well and not.
Like the other night in Cleveland, we didn't make any shots either, but we played good defense. The trick and the hardest thing to do is to continue to coach them hard during a long winning streak, right? The trick is to continue to play team basketball during a long winning streak. Move the ball, make the extra pass, talk on defense, give it up for your teammates, right? And that's the trick when you're up by 25, or that's a trick when you've won 6 or 7 in a row.
Right? Expectations all the time, right?
Well, it's just, I think you're always battling human nature of, we'll be all right, right? Instead of we better do this better or we're not going to be all right, right? So that's what we're battling. And again, it's only a loss to me last night if we don't learn from it. And I know we've already learned from it looking at our film session and our meeting this morning and our practice today. Or those guys they're learning from it.
You just need ESPN in here every day, right?
Well, yeah, I still think the film in the meeting where they weren't was spirited and on target, right? And that shows me that, we know, listen, this is a great group of dudes that cares, and they care about winning, and they'll work, and they know what the objectives are, and they do it every night. Nobody can do it every night. Nobody can do it at every possession, but our goal is to keep learning and keep getting better, keep staying together, keep playing tough, and we'll keep getting better.
How How's Fred had that wrap on again last night? Maybe
Yep.
he's had it consistently. I don't know.
He's had it since
Yeah.
game 12 of last year.
Do you have any sense of how he's trending?
I think it's just a thing that he does to stay warm, right, and get his body warm. And he does it quite a bit. It's kind of part of his thing. But health-wise, he's getting better. He's getting better. Yep. He's almost there, I think.